George Harrison never raised his voice. He rarely lashed out in interviews. And yet, inside the Beatles, he carried a quiet bitterness that grew heavier with time. It wasn't loud, it wasn't public, but it was deeply personal. Beneath his calm demeanor and spiritual outlook lived a man who felt unheard, overshadowed, and slowly pushed aside. In the early 1960s, George Harrison was the youngest Beatle, a quiet teenager from Liverpool who idolized John Lennon and admired Paul McCartney's confidence. When he joined the Quarrymen at just 15, he stepped into a band already shaped by the powerful Lennon-McCartney partnership. From the beginning, George was learning, absorbing, and following, while John and Paul led the vision and dominated the songwriting. As Beatlemania exploded, George earned the nickname the Quiet Beatle. But behind that label was growing frustration. He had ideas, songs, and musical instincts, yet in the studio, his voice was often dismissed. Paul McCartney's perfectionism and control became a constant presence. Years later, George would admit that being constantly corrected and second-guessed damaged his confidence as a guitarist, not out of cruelty, but from years of subtle undermining. By the time of the White Album and Let It Be sessions, the tension was impossible to hide. Cameras captured the breaking point when Paul directed George's guitar playing, and George responded with quiet resignation, saying he would play whatever Paul wanted or not play at all. It was not anger, it was exhaustion. Shortly after, George temporarily quit the band, overwhelmed by years of creative suffocation. Although he returned and went on to write masterpieces like Something and Here Comes the Sun, the damage was permanent. When the Beatles broke up in 1970, George didn't just walk away professionally. He emotionally detached, especially from Paul. His solo album All Things Must Pass became a powerful release, filled with songs that had once been ignored, proving what he was capable of when finally given space. George's relationship with John Lennon was different, but equally painful. He once idolized John, but over time felt dismissed and mocked, especially for his spiritual journey. Their bond faded quietly, leaving wounds that never fully healed. Even after John's death, George's tributes were thoughtful, restrained, and honest, reflecting love mixed with unresolved pain. In his final years, George remained private, philosophical, and dryly honest. When asked if he missed being a Beatle, he once replied, "Not with the others, no." Even during the Beatles' anthology reunion, old dynamics resurfaced. Time had passed, but the scars remained. George Harrison passed away in 2001, leaving behind a legacy of music, humility, and quiet rebellion. He was never the loudest Beatle, but his silence carried weight. His pain was real, his contributions were profound, and some wounds, no matter how softly carried, never fully close. This story comes from Golden Age Chronicles. If you value honest music history and untold stories, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And tell us in the comments, do you think George Harrison ever truly made peace before the end?